Hello and welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel if you've been here before and you've seen what's going on here with dopeNL, and welcome to the channel if this is your first time coming into the channel. Now today I'm going to be going through some sampling techniques and editing techniques on MPC 1. I'm going to sample from vinyl, so I've got this little killer track which is Most Wanted to Calm Down. It's got a nice bass and a nice drum beat in there, which is kind of the original drum and bass style, old school from the 90s. Original track, 12-inch, nicely done. So this is going to be my sample source. I've got it coming from a turntable. You can't see it, it's off shot, into a mixer, and then comes straight into the input. So we're going to show the setup and my thinking process behind how I set up the levels, etc. And we're going to sample the dopeNL, which is a nice, it's got a nice bass and stuff in it. So let's get started. So turntable's on, click, clicky, click. I'd like to, first of all, what I do, I think, well, how much am I going to sample of the track? Let's have a look. Turn some things on. Got a signal going in, which is strange because I haven't got anything going into it. There you go. There's obviously the on click. So you can see at the moment it's clipping. So that means we need to turn our send down a little bit. So that's the send on the, so I'm just going to reset that. So this basically, it will leave a mark at the highest input point. Now you want to leave some space, leave some air, shall I call it, some space on your sample. And that's just basically say if you want to normalize it or EQ it or do any forms of processing, it's good to have some room for you to do it, because if I just whack up the volume, as you can see here, it's just clipping. It's a digital clip, and if I was to sample that, you'd see how it just hits the top, and it's horrible. So let's turn it down. So look, some volume, headphones. Let's put some headphones in here. Some monitor. So look. So there's my input. What I'd like to also find out is the BPM, so switch it on. So shift and play, turns the metronome on. So if you hold shift and push play, it turns the metronome on. We've got that coming back through our return. Set it to monitor. It's faster. There we go, it's about 112 BPM, don't know if you can hear that. So I've got the click coming in. 2, 3, hear that? There we go, so there we go, that's the click. So I know it's 112 BPM, I'm going to leave that like that. That helps me when it comes to doing some editing, when it comes to time stretching, pitching, etc, etc. So I'm going to go back into sample. I do like the intro just a little bit. I don't know if that's on all of them. So listen. This is the drumapeller. It is. This is. I like this because it's got severe bass. So, input levels. So I don't want the vocal. I just want the instrumental. Okay, sweet. So that's about right. I've set 2 minutes 50 seconds on there. Got input going, so I'm push arm. There's some drums in there. Some ride cymbals. Here we go. There we name it. Calm down. It's instrumental. Let's do it. Program 1. So, as you see here, when I click the pads, it's going to ask me, do I want to put it into a program? It's going to create a program for me. It's going to say the root note is a C, and it's telling me which pad do I want to put it on. If there's no pads highlighted, that means it's not going to go to a pad. It's here, it says assign to pad none. So I'm going to assign it to pad 1, A0, A1, because you're on A, and it's the first pad. So we're going to go keep it. There we go. That's the sample process done. We're going to sample edit. As you can see, here's our samples. So it's nicely, as you can see here, we've got some nice space here on the waveform. It's not too hot. If you whack it too hot, then it just whacks it up there and actually get digital distortion. We get digital clipping and it's not so great, it's not so nice. Like I said before, it doesn't allow you to, so that's our sample. Let's have a listen to that. It doesn't allow you to do any processing afterwards or anything like that. I'm not sure, I haven't got this going into speakers, so you probably won't hear it. I'm not sure, maybe you will. I've got it going into the headphones. I could have it into speakers, but
suddenly a new sound attracts everyone's attention.
There's a number of things we can do with this. You do have to hit stop twice to stop playback. First of all, we'll name it and we'll process it. I'm not going to normalize it because it looks okay. But as you can see, there's a bit of I like, as you see, first couple of tips. First of all, I turn loop lock off, so that allows us to go to Q-Link 3 and move our loop point. And you can set it so, by example, these have different playback functions. These will play from loop point, to loop point, from loop point, from loop point, and this will play all of it within the loop. This is just play. This is key on play, so it'll play as long as you hold the key, and this is one shot, so that will just play it all the way to the end. So hope you got that. First one, as you see, continues playing. That's with the first lot, and these will correspond to endpoints and stuff. So if I adjust the endpoint, blah 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 blah, this will play. This pad will play after the loop, after the endpoint. Sorry, this pad will play before the start point. So if you want to get to a particular editing point, from the end to the end. Now this will play just before the end, and this will play exactly at the start. Now these are one shot and these are key on play. So key on from the end, key from the start point, key on to the start point, and again just before the end. This plays from the exact start. This plays from the start point. That also plays from, that's one shot from the start. That's just key on from the start. Here it goes from the loop points. This is all to do from the start, key on, from the loop point, key on, hit. So continuous loop. So if I put this here by example, I'll just continue to loop. See the jump, so you could adjust that by example if you loop. Should start about there. As we can see here, look, if you actually look at the waveform, this kick drum is the same as this kick drum. So really you'd either want it after that. So, see? Or you could do it from there to about here. See? I've got a nice loop. But that's not what I'm trying to do. So stop. Now if you want to find a nice loop point within the sample, so it's good to play, I use the Q loop point for that. Nice. So we need to edit the endpoint a bit. It's missing out a beat. It's a nice little bass and snare. See, if you like that, what I normally do then is I go process, and I want to not discard, I want to copy. No, I don't want to copy, I want to extract that part, and I'm going to call that come down bass snare. I'm going to go do it, I'm going to extract that. So if we go to here, we'll have a snare. As you see, there's no loop on, so if I push loop, it should give me a loop playback. It says play loop continuously. See, the snares are nice in there, you can go in and nick them out. It's not quite in time, but that's okay. That's not what I'm trying to do here. So, go back to our original sample. I do want the intro, which is the vocal.
Suddenly a new sound attracts everyone's attention.
Suddenly a new sound that grabs everybody's attention.
Suddenly a new sound attracts everyone's attention. Suddenly a new sound attracts everyone's attention.
You can see here, beginning of the sample, so you can zoom right in if you want. Use the finer controls. I like to leave about, see here, this is where the sound actually starts. I like to leave just a fraction of space, which allows for a better looping if you want to loop back to the beginning. So I'm going to chop that there. Let's find the end bit. Grab our end. So I'm only going to extract it. So if I don't select an endpoint, it's going to select the whole lot.
Only a new sound attracts everyone's attention.
Attention sounds like it goes into bass.
Attracts everyone's attention. Attracts everyone.
Attracts everyone's attention.
Attracts everyone's attention. Attracts everyone's attention.
There's a bass in there, I don't want that. I can see the bass right there, so that's too quick, isn't it? Look, watch. Here's the bass starting. I think so we can listen from the end point. Just before the end. As you can see, we are missing a fraction of that part of the sound. So we can zoom in there. That's the beginning of the bass. You can just see the wiggle. So the bass probably starts about here, but you could just bring it to the flattest point on the line. That's the beginning of the bass. About here. If I zoom out, you'll see it. So we can play from the end point. That's the bass.
Only a new sound attracts everyone's attention.
Attention.
Only a new attention.
It's a loop. So on the others are still on the end point there, it's a bit silly. Right, switch over to the loop. One's attention. So attention starts here. Anyway, that's not what I want. I'm going to grab this. Process, extract, and we're going to call it in. Got a voiceover because it's the voiceover of calm intro. VO calm down intro, do it. And we're going to extract that to a separate sample. Snare. See, as you can see, it's instrumental. Got that. That's cool. Everyone's attention. And then we got here the whole clip again. Zoom right out. Oops. Oh, sorry. So good, is it? Right, I hope that was clear. Now, there are other ways of going in to program it, because as we're on edit, you can go to chop, you can go threshold, regions, BPM. Has this set the BPM? Let's have a look. We know the BPM's not 11155, it's actually 1120, wasn't it? 112, sorry. So it's not quite right. It's a snare, we're going to reset that to 112. Because that way it allows processing to be correct. It says 111.51. It's debatable, that is. Maybe because there's a bit of space at the beginning and the end of the sample, it's assuming that, but we know, well, I'm going for 112 because that's what I counted it as. This just helps, like I say, allowing with proper processing. You know, the key, I'm not sure if it's A minor. I'd have to look it up, to be honest, or really listen to it on the keyboard. Boom, 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 boom.
Suddenly a new sound attracts everyone's attention.
What's this all the way back here?
Now let's get started.
That's nice. And let's get started. So you could fade that out as well, so you could chop that. Process, extract, we call that. Get started. Oops. Don't use any hashtags, numbers or symbols in your sample names, because for some reason the Akai MPC, in my experience, doesn't like it and sometimes fails to load them. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. Apparently it's fine, but I've had problems with when I've put hashtags and numbers in my file names and project names, it sometimes just fails to load them. I don't know why. It doesn't. It must do something to the metadata that just messes it up. I have no idea. So that, what else do we like in there? Let's have a listen. Now, quickly listening through, we jump over to loop point. Oops, get yourselves in the right window. See, if you're in the other window, because you don't, oops, excuse me, because you don't have anything, it just jumps from, you're either going to be editing time, root note, or the BPM. And if you jump across here, you get key. Oops. It doesn't like that, does it? Key. No. So you've got A and B. It says A. I don't know what it is. I mean, this only makes, like I say, a difference when you're going to be doing some. Set that back to 0. Root note, I think it was F. BPM isn't 360, it's 11200. Let's have a look. What else do we like? Go to the third key point, so it adds me on loop. Then I can whack around with the loop to get. I wanted that bass as well.
Everyone's attention. One's attention.
Yeah, so the first one is the cleanest one.
One's attention.
It's got snare in there, but we can take that out. So, bass. There's a vocal sample there, so we don't want that. So, get our endpoint. So I had the loop point going backwards. And the thing is, it's silly because I switched the loop off, but because it's playing, it still thinks I'm in the loop. Watch. If I do it now, though, it won't do it. Should just loop normal. If it loops at all, because I've got it switched off. Yeah. Really, you want it about there. Just check that intro, loop point. So I want to bring start point to 112.680. So 112. Gosh. to do that a little bit, because the trouble is we know it's 112.680, right? If I start going past with the start point, it drags the loop point with it. See that? So it's 112.680. Go 112.680, and you want to bring it to bars. We want 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 1. See here, it's 1 bar. There's 2 bars up to the snare, so to the end. See, this is the snare. There's the snare, see? Dum, 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 dum. We'll take it to just the snare. Okay, we're going to process that, and we're going to call that bass loop. Bass L P. You can put 1, doesn't mind numbers, just don't put hashtags. I'm going to extract that. So now we've done that, what I want to do is take this and I'm going to chop it across the pads. So you could go threshold, but look, it's created loads because it's going in all the thresholds. What about regions? 16 regions. I don't really want. Or BPM. Manual. So we can go clear all, so it clears all the slices. So let's hold shift, clear all the slices. As we go along, do one shots. Do you want to snap it? Not really. I'm going to do it by hand. Hang on, stop. Oops. So I'm going to do this quickly. So ready? Hold up. It switched to the other bank, so dum dum. If you have link slices, what happens is it'll automatically create the next start point of the pad to the end. If you unlink slices and you just want to say move stuff about, it allows you to unlink the slices. So slice 2 has the snare. Give it a very fine adjustment. It's the end, front. We want the front. Pop. That's okay. It's beginning of the snare, just there. And as you can see, as I've unlinked the slice, if I go to slice 1, it leaves a gap. If I link slices, it brings it to the exact end. It's handy if you just want to take parts out of it. So going to unlink that because I don't want to drag that apart. As you see now, link slice 3 doesn't have a start point. If I link slices, slice 3 has a new start point. You'd want that to end at the end of that sample. Okay. Looking at that, I'd probably want that as the whole sample. 2. See here when the slice 3 to the beginning, got a click there, so I'm going to bring it back to the lower point here where it's quite low. See where it just crosses the threshold of the 2 lines here. That means you're going to have silence. If you've got a clicky bit like this, you're going to hear it. Hear it? So that is theoretically the beginning of the sample. And we want to bring that to the end, so number 4 over here. Now, it depends whether you want to bring it on the end of this sample, which you can see has got a clicky point. Ah, you poopy head. Why I'm seeing slice 13, I have no idea. It's funny, this is slice 4 and this is slice 5. It's because we're on the end cue point. Cue's on the end, you see. Let's switch that to the front. Pop. So I can hear a click because it's in the middle. See how high this is from the line? Oops. So you could either go here or just on this threshold point. As we can see, they're almost the same, these 2 snares, so this one's a bit higher. See how the waveform changes. It's basically the same snare. This one's a bit lower. This bit wants to be about here. I can hear this is in a funny place. Clicking. See, here's the snare. I'm not sure where that is. Sounds like it's in the middle of the sample. And there we can see again slice 11, beginning point. Sounds like it's in the middle of the sample as well, see? Just on the lift. plenty of these snares. I'm probably not going to use them all. Same snare. It's also a bit late. We have that. Zoom right in, zoom back out. That's the same. I think it's more interesting to capture the second part of that. Kick drum. We haven't got any of them things, have we? It's also a bit messy. A bit late. Same snare anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick drum, kick drum, kick drum. Okay, that's nice. You could go a stage further and get these broken up, and then that'll bring you into bank B. It's a nice clean snare. It's a bit noisy, that one. This one's clean. This one's clean. Like a double kick. I think this should be here. Same as the end bit there. Just grab that. Like a double snare. It's a tight snare, long snare. 3 snares, 4 snares, all the same. Do we have that bass? Yeah, we do. Personally, I think that should also be like that. You can even have them separate, but you've got them already. See? It's the same sound, doubled. I recognise that snare from another song. Anyway, there we go. Nice easy way to chop things. Now what you could do is you convert them, assign a single pad. No, what I'm going to do is new program with new samples, crop samples, create new program. You could create events. Events would basically mean when you push play, it creates a track playing with the MIDI events, triggering all of these pads in succession. So you'd have the loop. I'll show you. Bars, it's 4 bars. So we'll do it just for the fun of it. we go here, you should have 4 bars of track. Yeah, that's what that's done. If we go into our Calm Down Bass LP channel 1 and edit program, we'll see that it's created a load of clips for us, single sample hits. Assign each one of those to a pad. And what I like to do is go into bank B from that program we just made, and we're going to put the originals on there. And that way, calm down snare, oops, and we're going to put that there. So then we're going to put on here the vocal, the intro, and that's the whole track. So I like to put that on pad 16. So basically means that when you save this program, it's got all the samples in it, so if you want to use it again, I'm going to come to here and we're going to put we want the vocal. I think I put the end because I put VO at the end. I always put if I say vocal, I always put VO.
Suddenly a new sound attracts everyone's attention. Now let's get started.
I think that, no, let's get started. I think we should nick that as well. So we go to sample edit.
Now let's get started.
So now, see, this is a bug I noticed. Like now, we know the whole sample's there, right? But now it zooms out. See, we've got all that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we could do, go to actual sample edit. Let's get started. We're going to chop this as well. Right, I just made 4 beats. Blah, blah, blah. Get to the beginning of that. So you don't have to be precise when you're doing that. Just go in and edit it to trim it up nicely afterwards. You must. So we'll take those. Because I'm still in chop, you see. Might not be a good idea to take that. Yeah, I'm gonna delete that slice simply because it's taken away the sibilance of the sample. So shift, delete slice. There you go. Cool. Now we're gonna take that, get started. We're gonna also convert that, create just chop samples. I'm not going to create a program because we're going to dump them in the other one. Do it. So it shouldn't have created a new program. No. Good. Suppose we got. So now I'm going to go into bank B. which is where we left. So I want to put them. So let's get started over here. That one. None. None. So bass snare, get started, and I'm going to put instrumental, no, whoops. Let me just check. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So there should be 4 there, which is right. So the fourth one is going to be the full one. Come down, bass loop, intro. No. Oops. Sorry, wrong one. Is that one? Yeah, it's that one because that's the whole lot. That's just so we've got the whole sample in the program. It's a bass there, get started. Now this one has to be the last one, which is that one, I think. Bass loop 1. Okay. And we're going to put the vocals that we just snatched a second ago. So there was 4 of them, wasn't there? So it should be these 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one, 4. Bit I want, because I want to, so if we go to sound program, okay. Now you've done that, you want to save it. Now as we're temporarily, we can add some pad colors if you wanted to. These are the vocals, so then you just hate it when it does all of them. And full instrumental, put up here. I actually want to take that off of there, so let's go to main, edit program. I want that to be blank. Don't need it twice in there. Right. Now drums. Or should we make them blue? Horn, bass, bass, light blue for bass, and then we're going to put drums, we're going to make them all dark blue, or light blue. So I use dark blue for something else. I like to keep that continuous. So now I've got samples here. Should be empty, black, back. Okay, now you've done that. What I always like to do is save it. So save current program, and it saves all the samples with it. I do temporarily, I know it's not nice, but I do temporarily save things like that onto the internal. So I go into my documents. Oops, multiplier. This is rubbish, I don't use that. Where are we? Programs? No programs. I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it Calm Down. Calm down. Okay, do it. Let's create a folder on the internal. Just do that temporarily. It's just so it's saved. That's a good process to do. Then what I also like to do is go save program again, but I'm going to save it to where my proper programs are. It's MPC programs. In here I also have a load of folders. We're going to call that also Calm Down, or most. We can call it Most Wanted because that's who it's by, isn't it? Oops. Wanted. CD Calm Down. It's a folder name. Put that in there. We're going to call this program something else though. Calm Down. Full. That's what's got everything in there, so I'm going to call it Full. Excuse my tummy. Now, see, it's renamed that. You can check everything's in there. Do you not recognise that song? Bet you got a few hip hop tunes with that in.
Now let's get started.
See, nicely done. So that's a nice easy way to do some sampling, get your signal levels correctly. If you want to start doing any fancy editing, we can do another tutorial about that. Get your comments, thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. It's going to be a bit long, but it might be chopped up. You never know. Chop it up like a sample. Same thing with audio. Same thing with video. Hope you're all good in the world. Take care. Take it easy and see you next time. Cheers. So give you a